Greetings, Keishlings. Keishprime here with my live reaction of Kingdom Chapter 835. Alright, so everyone's being forcibly recruited, and finally their great general has arrived. Please, your majesty, we beg you to deliver a great rousing speech. Oh, yes, also that. That is going to be hilarious as the Kin army advances on the royal capital, Shentai. Yeah, he ain't gonna say shite. He gets up from his throne. The enemy is located in Chukodo. If that's the case, there should still be some time before they reach Shente. This is the most the man has ever spoken this whole arc. Therefore, for a while, I shall consider our options. Everyone take a break, huh? The melancholy of a ruler cornered. Yeah. What is going on? His Majesty has really gone to the villa? Does he even understand the gravity of this moment? At some point, our king is, I'm going to my father, the king. Nei-sama? Nei-sama. It seems his Majesty is agitated due to some heavy stress. The man is probably so fucking baked in stress at this point. But if we don't rally the people with the Majesty's words, unite Shinte, and fight the Ken army, we won't be able to defend our country. Please, Nei-sama, use your power to calm His Majesty's heart and persuade him to return to the main palace. We're counting on you. Nei-sama, I will call for a carriage. That won't be necessary. The detached palace here is where the king is staying right there. Hmm? General Rakuo Khan? Nei-sama. General Rakuo Khan, I heard you sustained serious injuries. Are you alright? Hmm? Wait, what's going on? The heads. Oh. In front of the main hall. What on earth? No way. General Rakuo Khan is... No, this is, Kakuriku's, doing. These men were reportedly discussing arrangements to surrender to Ken, anticipating the worst case scenario. Wait, how do you know all this? They were beheaded for what they deemed treason and placed here, presumably as a warning to others. He is very deducive. Nei-sama. It almost looks like the heads are talking. Those faces. Benhaku and Teirin-sama. No way. Both of them are undoubtable members of the royal family, and to do so to them. The imperial court seems to be in quite a state. For Chancellor Cho to grant such authority to Kakuryu, of all people, the public order protection force isn't a typical army that fights outside. It's a gloomy force within the castle. How do you know this, Yoku? You're just supposed to be Big Brawly Man. I guess you got big brain under that freaking whatever helmet that is. I'm just gonna call you fucking Juggernaut. With your Juggernaut mask. It's a gloomy force within the castle that's connected to the political side and undertakes shady work. Giving them power means they'll suddenly come out into the open and won't do anything good. The leader, Kakuriku, is Ryu, is a man who perfectly embodies that. I feel like Chancellor Cho is at his wit's ends, but even so, yes. Conscripting soldiers 5 years and older was a grave mistake? I don't know. If war breaks out and the Ken army enters the city, Shinte will forever be known as the city of treachery in history. I think so too, but I couldn't stop it. Rakuo Kansama also questioned that Chancellor about this point, but he only said that he would take all the responsibility. Wait, how do you know this? Was this before the war started? Is that something he can take on? When so many people's lives are suddenly lost, how can one man take responsibility? What are you saying? Is he really an idiot? Nei-sama, you're right. But if I hadn't been defeated by General To's army in the first place, Shinte wouldn't have been cornered like this. The responsibility, excuse me, lies entirely with me. I'm truly sorry. Please don't say things like that. The soldiers fought for the country, risking their lives. Before accepting your apology, we must thank you. Hmm. General Rakukan, if Han falls, the sacrifices of Ite Plains and Tosa Plains, will they all have been in vain? From my position, I can only try to fend off the Kin army so that it doesn't fall. Then just one more thing. One more thing. Do you think the soldiers who died in the battles at both plains fought and died to protect their country? Or do you think they fought to die and protect the people of Han? I think they fought with both intentions. No. I believe most of them fought thinking it was the same thing. However, if you ask which thought weighed more heavily, at that moment of death, I think it was desire to protect their families. That's what I think. This makes sense. General Rakukan, it seems the king is absent, so I will return to my post guarding the castle's walls. General, I will fulfill my duty. As for Nei-sama, please fulfill the role that you envision for yourself. Good luck. Yes, good luck to you too, General. Okay, so off to the villa or just the offshoot of the palace. So he's just having tea. Pa? Father. Oh, Nay. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not Nay. Are you alright? What? Do you realize what's happening right now? Oh, so this must be another daughter? I know that's why I've been waiting for you. Oh, this is Nay. What the hell's going on? I am, as a king, I am ashamed to admit, I'm just an ordinary man. Well, everyone knows that, especially now, please. I would take an ordinary job, marry an ordinary woman, have children, have an ordinary family, live an ordinary life, and die an ordinary death. That's the kind of life I truly desire. I'm just a very, very ordinary man. That's by what ill fortune was born into the royal family of Han in such a difficult era. And now I sit on the throne at the worst possible moment. There's not a day I don't resent the heavens. To someone like me, what do you all expect me to do? Okay, we're getting some depth into this, man, and also the motherfucker's spoken more than a paragraph. What are you saying? Now is not the time to say such things. Please put yourself together, father. Your mother was said to be the most beautiful woman in the royal capital, Shinte. And I was truly in love with her when you were finally born. I was so happy. And then your mother died of illness so soon. I cherished you even more. Before I knew it, you had become my reason for living. So when you were to be wed, it was truly painful for me. Wait, she's been married? Your Majesty, are you all right? Your Majesty? But sometimes, both times, my suitors died suddenly and the engagement fell through. Oh. Well, that dude motherfucking poisoned. Like, that is Han level poison right there. Like, yeah, that was the shit that one general had back during the Coalition War. It's a strange disease. What is the strange disease? Thanks to that, I've been called a cursed princess, both inside and outside of the country. What are you laughing at? He did it. After that talk of your engagement decreased and you weren't keen on the idea anymore either, most of your brothers who would have succeeded to the Han throne are still being held hostage in other countries. What? And those who remain in the country are even more cowardly than I am. They're holed up in their mansions, indulging in banquets with women even now. Because of that, I've had you, a girl, but one with spirit and talent, become the representative of the royal family. I'm truly sorry. But perhaps this is all our heaven's plan. Even though you've had nothing but trouble, now you're being forced to bear an even greater burden. So, on the Ite Plains, you met with To, and he proposed a bloodless surrender. So he knew. How did you... You wonder how I know? I'm the king after all. I have countless sources of information, especially in Han. Like, my god, it's supposed to be like the spy capital of the world, right? Um, Father, Toe's idea is correct. If Ken is serious about destroying Han, there's nothing we can do to stop it. No, we can't. Because this country has survived on information and strategy, I can already see it. Huh? Sooner or later, royal capital Shinte will fall, and if Han is to be destroyed, it's a question of where. And it's a question of how many soldiers. And how many of our people will die. Father, then, if we truly care for the people, we would offer our immediate surrender. Father, but that would be an act of closing the history of Han with our own hands. This nation's history, which our ancestors defended and passed down with their lives for 170 years to the end of it. That would be an act of trampling on the feelings of all the people of Han and their great sacrifices. Everything would be in vain, meaningless. So, what kind of resolve, as for me, I do not possess? Father, but I can't be like the King of Ken. The King of Ken once gave a speech and say, I love that they're actually referencing this. Um, a place with no army and turned ordinary citizens into soldiers, and then, incredibly, he let half of them die. How could he do such a thing? Is he even human? Well, apparently his historical counterpart was a monster, so that was probably just the start of it. There's no way I could ever do something like that, but thanks to that, Ken did not fall, and Han, ruled by one who cannot do that, will fall. In other words, it is destined to fall. Every night I have terrifying nightmares telling me to do something, but I can't do anything and I tremble. After all, I will, as always, keep my mouth shut until royal capital Shinte turns into a sea of fire, countless people die, and everyone begs. So it's the dream that she had, begging, please surrender, your majesty. There's nothing I can do, surely. How terrifying. What? Father? Father? So he just kind of fell in his grief? Father, then... Oh, the alarms? No way. Dong, dong. Wait. Am I zoomed in too far? What? They're here. They're here. The Ken army has come. Oh god, they're like just a few miles away. Or not even a few miles. Like one or two. The approaching Ken army. It says the royal capital is finally within reach. Okay, so we're finally getting perspective on the king. He's a coward, essentially, but one that is not willful and the like. He would rather just have an ordinary life. So much stress and everything has just been destroying him to where he has nightly nightmares. So it's kind of ridiculous that he would have ever become king, and that they should have seen this coming. I assume he never had a sibling to take over for him because, they always want to put the most powerful sibling on the throne. It's going to bear better results overall for your country. So, but it was not seemingly the case for him. And apparently, a lot of his children are actually being held hostage. So, Nay probably would have never gotten to the throne, which is sad because she's the willful daughter that he probably wished was a boy. He probably would have abdicated that throne years ago. But, interesting to say the least. Now that Ken is, in sight of Shinte, the armies are slowly going to close in. We're going to have some siege warfare, maybe some other stuff. But you do have to give in to the king's plight a little bit. Like, he doesn't want to close their nearly two centuries of history. So yeah, like that's a big thing. It's like he sees that, any fighting to preserve their nation will obviously obviously lead to its destruction, because things have just kind of been on the downslope for them this war. So, and he can't rally the troops like he knows that probably Ney will have to do. Um, but then this goes along with what Say had done, and he sees that he's a failure of a king because he can't be like that. I love that. Um, but also, what was I thinking? It was to go along with the surrender being the best thing. It would save his people, and that kind of goes along with where Rakua Khan was talking about, like, the people that had died so far probably thought of their families and country as one, but stronger ties to the family, of course. Um, so yeah, like, people before places is essentially the message that I've gotten from this chapter and ultimately from this arc. So yeah. Anyway, let me know your own thoughts and opinions on this. This was a very insightful chapter for the king. He spoke his heart out to his daughter. Let's see where things go. Anyway, let me know your all those good thoughts. Links down below for all my socials. I'm part of the One Punch Man podcast on Grim Reaper's channels. Go check that out. And as always, later days. And until next time, Keishlings, we're heading to Tokyo to fight some kaiju.